Hello, Facebook. Crystal Gail Brisson coming to you from my personal page. Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year's Eve. I'm coming in here today because I wanted to just elaborate a little bit about the programs that I have coming in January. So if you are catching me for the first time ever, please say hello. Tell me how your day is going. Tell me how you're closing off your year. If you catch me live quite often, say hello as well. Let me know how you are closing off your year. And if you catch this on the replay, hashtag Brave Bold You, so that I can come back and give you love as well. And let me know how you are closing off your year. So what I am doing, I'm in the process, I do this thing every year where I close off my years and I get ready to open up and anchor into the new chapter. And this is something that I've done. I had a masterclass all on that, which is still available for replay. But today I wanted to come in here and talk to you about two programs that I have coming in January. So for those who don't know, I'm a women's empowerment mentor. I'm an energetic mentor. And I really just am here to help women take up more space. Hi, Lisa. Women take up more space in their body and their goals and their dreams and all the things. So if you are new to my world, hello, welcome. Hi, Debbie. And these are women who are in the hive, so I love it. If you're not part of the free International Women's group, please come hang out with us because there's a lot of cool things that happen in that community. And I honestly believe that synergy, like so much magic happens in there. So I'm coming in here. I want to talk about the two programs coming in January. I'm going to start talking a little bit more about them. Hi. So the first one that I'm really excited about is called The Practice. So The Practice is going to be an 8-week program. It's going to be a really immersive experience. Everything's happening online, by the way. Excuse me. That's just how I do my business. I was doing my business online before everything went online, and I just love this way because I can connect with so many other women worldwide, and that is literally like, I love coaching. That's like my jam. So The Practice is an 8-week immersive program. It is really a program that is going to help you get set for what it is you want to achieve. So here's the thing. Most people, they set resolutions and like 8% of people follow through. It's really sad. Hello, Debbie. 8%. Only 8% follow through. Now, is it because, hey, Kayla, is it because their goals were too big? Is it because they had no direction? Whatever the reasons being, is it because they didn't set SMART goals? And like, listen, I know a lot about all of these things, but The Practice is really going to help you integrate. It's an embodiment skill. It is, I'm going to show you tools and strategies to help regulate your nervous system because it's a lot deeper than just having SMART goals. So who here has ever heard of SMART goals, right? They're specific, they're measurable, they're attainable. What's the R for? I forget. And the T is they're time tested or something like that. If I mess this up, just correct me in the comments. This is beautiful. The Practice is going to be a different thing. It's a program of really practicing the embodiment piece, practicing how do you set yourself up to achieve what it is you want to achieve so that you don't end up, so that you do become part of the 8%. You want to be part of the 8%. You want to be part of the percentage of people that honor their word, the people that create promises to themselves and honor it. This is the base of self-love. Every time we say we're going to do something and then we don't honor that, we end up sabotaging, we end up not thinking we're worthy of our desires, we end up all kinds of things. In The Practice, I'm going to show you step by step on how to set you up. And I have like a really cool process to help you step into who it is you want to become. Because the truth is, who you are now is not the same person that is going to have the goal. There's going to be a process of really shedding. And this is something that I don't think a lot of people talk about, but I've seen posts about it, like quotes saying, your new life is going to cost you your old life. And literally that's what it is. It's shedding. It's letting go of what weighs you down, letting go of what doesn't serve you. This is why being really honest with what it is you do want. Like we have a whole 365 days coming. right? If we're lucky. If we're lucky, because let's not forget about this. We are limitless beings with limited time. So how about we just apply a little bit of heat? I'm going to actually share something really deep with you. I was in the middle of a practice this morning. I do my own methods. I do my own teachings. And I was reflecting on what it is that it takes to change sometimes. What is it, right? And this is it. It takes heat. It takes heat, right? This is, if this is anything that I remember from science when I was growing up in high school and I took science classes, you take heat, you put on the Bunsen burner and you go and you create heat. You change the molecular structure. You melt something down to create something else, right? If we want to be it more applicable to your everyday life, your butter is frozen, you leave it on the counter, it will unthaw. Your meat is frozen, you leave it on the counter, it will unthaw. Why? Because heat, right? We don't have to physically cook it. We just changed the temperature a little bit. And within ourselves, we have what is known as like a little thermostat. A little thermostat inside that says, this is the temperature, this is where we're gonna go because this is what we've always had. And if we adjust it, that doesn't feel good. So then what do? Subconsciously, we will do things to sabotage. We will allow other people's agendas to take over our own because we feel bad, right? Like, I'm a woman's coach. Why? Because I know this narrative. I lived it for so long. I burnt out not once, but twice because I didn't know how to honor my own time, right? So the practice is going to be about really allowing you to get clear about what it is you desire to create within these next 365 days. So it's an 8-week program, but you're going to get to implement it and embody it all year. It's like rinse and repeat for every single thing you want to do. It's going to be allowing you to adjust that thermostat while regulating your nervous system, because here's the thing, when we start doing stuff that's not comfortable, we have the option to either retract or expand. So if we compare this to heat again, we've been taught not to play with fire. We've been taught to stay away from heat because it's not comfortable. There's a saying, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, right? This is just a different way to look at it. What if you were brave enough to stand in it and hold it? What if you were brave enough to just really honor the parts within you that are like, we can't have this, we can't do this, right? So the practice is going to be it's an immersive program. Everything's happening on my Zoom. This is another thing I need to tell you. This past year, I have really transitioned to, I've done some programs on Facebook groups, private Facebook groups, but the last part of the year, the programs I did were really more intentional with being together, right? In my Zoom where I can see you and I could feel your energy and you could feel my energy, and it's this whole co-creation of togetherness. So this is starting in January. I have it on early bird right now for $222 US until tomorrow night, until January 1st. And then it's going to go up to $333. This is an 8-week program. Yes, I have payment plans. I'm going to give you the skills. I'm going to give you the strategies. I'm going to help you see where you block yourself. I'm going to show you that. And then you're going to get to raise your standards. You're going to get to hold those parts of you that are like, we can't do this. And we're going to rinse and repeat, right? We're going to regulate. We're going to raise the heat just a little bit as we change. Because as they say, there is no comfort in growth, and there's no growth in comfort. So if you are desiring to become somebody you've never been, trying to go at it alone as well is something that I don't recommend. I was spinning my wheels for years. And until I realized when I'm investing, I invest in that version of me that I get to step into, right? I don't have to do it alone. Here's the thing, in society, we're not meant to do anything alone, ever. We are interdependent. We help each other rise. So if this is something you're curious about, message me and I will send you the link. We can do all the chatting. But it's going to be a really cool program. I've never offered something like this. And I just was like, you know what? I want to talk about that. I want to help you set yourself up. This is different than like a weight loss challenge or like getting out of debt challenge. This is actually taking having the gumption and taking the action, right? And seeing all of it. I'm going to show you things you don't see. I'm going to show it to you. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So then you'll be able to hold yourself to that different standard, not by shaming and beating yourself up, but actually like understanding why you do this. That's the thing. When we can understand it, we get to release it. We get to choose a whole other process. So that is for the practice. All right. So if there's any questions, message me. And then the next program that I'm excited about as well, which is also starting in January. So usually I don't do back-to-back programs, but in my body it was like, I'm a manifesting generator and I ride on that stuff. So I figured it was time to come in and share a little bit more depth to human design and the basics of as astrology as well. So this next program is called Embodied Essence, because essentially you were born divine, you were born worthy of AF. There's nothing that needs to change, but we get conditioned, right? There's going to be conditioning in our human life, and this is normal, right? Conditioning just shows duality. It just shows contrast. But we get to see something different. And embodiment is really like giving yourself full permission to take up all the space. Embodiment is not having to prove. Embodiment is not having to justify or validate, right? And I've been giving human design readings for the past year and really just practicing and embodying it myself. I found this methodology, this modality in 2020. It was spring of 2020. And I just devoured it. Like I devoured it nonstop. And then just this past like November, I think it was November, December, I took an astrology to understand more, because human design encompasses all of that energy, right? It takes the chakras, the I Ching, the Kabbalah, astrology, right? It's quantum mechanics. It is literally like the energy of the energetic imprinting of when you were born. It is like the energetic truth of who you be. And when I understood myself fully, and I shouldn't say fully because human design there's so much depth. This has been around since 1987. People who discovered it back then, from Ra Uhu, whatever his last name was, they're still studying it. They're still learning it. There's different interpretations. I'm going to give you in Embodied Essence, I'm going to teach you, this is a 16-week course. It's very intensive. It's not a certification, but it is going to give you what you need to understand your chart, what you need to understand those closest to you. For those who are coaches, this would also equally be a really cool base to understand your clients, right? So this program is starting as well in January. It is a 16-week program. As I said, we're going to go through, this is going to be level 1 because I've already decided I'm going to have a level 2 to go a lot deeper in the human design and in astrology, but we're going to start with the basics. I'm not going to throw just a bunch of stuff at you. 16 weeks to really start dissecting and understanding who it is you be. Being able to see somebody else for who it is they be. Understanding how we get conditioned. Understanding what the work is. I've had a few people reach out and ask me, like, what do you, when you say do your work? So if people have been watching my stories, and I talk about that often, like, do your work, do your work, do your work. And they're like, what kind of work you mean? Like, what does that even mean? Doing your work is honestly understanding what your triggers are, because triggers are expanders. Like, I use this visual so that you see a trigger doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. But if you take it and you expand it, you go deep in, you get to see what the blocks are. You get to see what the thoughts are, the story, the narrative, the beliefs that you bought into, all wrapped in and like messed up, kajumbled together. That's doing the work. That is understanding that we are all mirror images to each other. That's all we are. We're mirrors. Mirrors to each other. Mirrors and windows. We mirror each other, but we can also see different possibilities. Like when I am working with my clients, I love to see. I see their potential. I see their highest selves. I don't see it all, right? Because that's super quantum, right? But I get to see, and then I get to shine a light on where they get to go if they desire. Everything's already been pretty much written out. We have free will. We have agency. We get to decide what story we want to take, right? When I found and started really understanding my human design, I realized how for my whole life, I take the long way around to get to where it is I want to go. I just take the long way around because I developed some kind of a belief that I wasn't worthy to just go straight for it. I had to take the long way around. I had to prove, right? I had to prove. I tried to like mold myself to like, cause I'm big energy, like big hair, big curls, big curves, big energy, big personality. My whole life I've tried to like, or I felt like I've had to box stuff in, understanding that I'm a manifesting generator and I don't have to do that, right? Understanding the motivation that I have within my human design. My motivation is desire with a trajectory of leadership. This is the energy I was born in. My profile is here to teach. I'm a 5-1. The 5 is a mentor, right? So in human design, if you're new to this and you're like, what are these words? What are you saying to me? You will come into this program and you will have a very clear, solid understanding of what this whole system looks like, what it looks like, and then you'll get to practice and practice and practice and embody and integrate the teachings. You'll get to see what is true for you and what is not true for you. I honestly don't believe in labels. So I'm noticing a lot of coaches on the online world just like boxing people in. This is not what I use human design for. I don't think anything, actually I shared a little story quickly if you wanted to check out my stories, but it was like pseudo self-awareness is like, what's your Enneagram type? Well, I'm a 7, right? What's your personality type? I'm an ENFJ-A, right? What's your star sign? I'm a Virgo. What's your rising sign? I'm a Virgo. What's your moon sign? I'm a Scorpio. Like these are just, this is just surface level stuff. But when you can go deeper and when you can understand, whoa, what stories have I picked up? Who did I think I had to be growing up? What coping mechanisms have I used in my life to just survive, right? All of this is the magic. So sure, you might be a projector. You might be a manifester. You might be a generator, a reflector, or a mani-gen. It doesn't mean that you are boxed in, right? We came to this planet in the human flesh. We were given a human. We were given a human with the bones and the blood and the sack, like the skin, like this is a meat sack. That's all it is. Hey, Susan. Oh, that's Susan Bubbles. This is just a meat sack. That is all this is. The experiences that we're going to cultivate and learn from, that's the magic, right? So human design, hey, queen, I miss your face. That's the magic. So I'm super excited. I'm going to be super transparent as well. I've been wanting to do this for so long and I've just felt like, can I? And I got the urge in my body. It was like, to just do it. I've been giving readings. I've had clients tell me like, I want you to teach me this stuff. So I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to teach you from a place of super like honest integrity. This is stuff that you learn, you practice, and embody. This is stuff that you're going to get to keep like unfolding and going as you move forward. So this is a 16-week program. You have a whole new vibe. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I received that. I just need a moment. Whew. Waves of gratitude right now. This is what you've created for me. I'm going to receive that. So yeah, Embodied Essence is really just, as I have a moment, giving yourself the full permission to be who it is you came here to be. To remember, right? Life is nothing but a cycle of remembering and forgetting and remembering and forgetting. It's all cyclical. And what I'm going to teach in Embodied Essence is basically that. I'm going to teach you like the technical stuff, but I'm also going to help you do some integrative stuff, right? Like I feel like it's a modality that is so applicable and it's very like you can utilize this in all kinds of aspects. So if you're a coach, if you're a mom, if you're an employer, like whatever role, whatever hats you wear, it's going to serve you. You're going to get to come in or just come in to learn yourself. Like I have a woman that signed up and she's like, I just want to know more about me. Amazing. Because what I'm going to teach you in level 1 is going to be enough for you to be like, oh my God. So I'm going to teach you the basics in human design. You're going to understand level 1. We're going to go through the profiles. We're going to go through the types, the authority, the strategy, the incarnation crosses. We're going to go through some deconditioning work, right? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. And then in astrology, we're going to really look at the signs, the houses, where things are in your chart, what that means. We're going to look at sex, right? Like, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, the big three. We're going to look at the phases of the moon. Like, I have a whole process so that we're going to just slowly inch our way. 16 weeks, it seems like a long time, but honestly, when I delivered this, when I was prepping everything out, I was like, oh my God, I feel like we need more. But we're going to start with 16 weeks. I'm going to give you that, and then you're going to have time to integrate, embody, practice, play, right? Just play in it, feel into it. And then later this year, we'll do a level 2 where we'll go a lot deeper. So that'll be especially for those who are in the coaching and they want to understand, how do they market themselves? How do they connect with their clients? How do they do their business, right? Branding, all of that stuff is going to be like further down the line. So these are the 2 programs I was really pumped to share and bring to light. So if any of them interest you, message me. I have payment plans. Yes, I charge in US dollars. My business runs in US dollars. I just thought this year it was very smart for me to finally shift into the currency that my business, that I pay into my business. But we have payment plans. We have all kinds of things to make it work for you. If you're curious about anything or you're not sure which would be best or whatever, message me, right? Or just come hang out in the hive. Last but not least, seeing that we are going to be starting a whole new chapter in a few days, I do have the Deliberately Intentional Planner. This is a planner that I'm super friggin' proud of. Right now, it is available only on PDF because my physical product is not to par yet. It's not to the standard, but it's there. And I'm like so friggin' excited because I worked hard at this manifestation. So if you're curious about grabbing the PDF, message me and I will send that off to you in an email. And I think that's it for now. Yeah, I'm really excited. Year of Bold Masterclass. I did a masterclass and I show you the process of how I close off my years. So I did that on the 19th of December. The replay is available. I have a whole process I've been doing since 2012. Literally since 2012. Like, people know that I choose a word. I started choosing a word in 2012 because I was like, I don't want to be the same Crystal that keeps making resolutions and then feels like a liar, right? And lying to yourself is the worst kind of lie ever. So embodying a word, how do I choose my word? How do I close off the year? There's a whole process. So this masterclass, you can have it. It's close to 2 hours. There's a workbook that comes with it. All the participants that took it, I've encouraged them to rewatch it like mid-year 2022 just to see like where they're at, right? So that's available for $55 US. Message me if any of the things interest you. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to come in here. So I will now get off. I want to go and get some fresh air, in my lungs. And if anybody is curious, message me. I'm going to ask you though, if you do close off your years, really just reflect on what worked this year. Like, I know everything has been so really get curious, like what worked. Hi Debbie. I love you too. What worked in this past year? Like, what worked for you? What didn't work? Like, ask yourself these questions, like what didn't work? And what's next? Like, what are you going to put down? Because there are certain things you can't carry with you going into 2022. There's certain things from 2021 that you just got to put down because they don't belong with you in 2022. I actually shared a video this morning of me from 2017, which I also cried in. But that year shook me to my core. That year was the worst year of my life, but I was still able to tap into gratitude. And I was rewatching that this morning. This is why I use social media. It's like a digital platform for a diary. The sands of time, I get my reminders and I'm like, I have this whole process. Every morning I have a coffee and I read my memories and I sometimes rewatch the videos and I sometimes really needed to hear those words. So I reshared that video this morning because I remember that woman that I was. I remember her and I'm grateful for her and I'm grateful for the steps she's taken to get us here. And I'm excited for this version of me and where we're going. But yeah, that was a moment. So have an amazing end of 2021. Stay safe. Love yourself. Love others. Be kind to your human. Please be kind to your human. There's such a divide. We all know this. Deep breaths in. We're going to be okay. Just be kind to your human, because then you're more compassionate and patient with the other humans. And if you're not, that's cool. It's called self-preservation. It's like, I'm gonna love you from a distance. Some decisions are hard. Some people aren't able to see all their family and friends. I have a friend that's getting married that I was so excited to go to, and I had to decline, and I'm gonna watch it on Facebook Live tomorrow. And I have to be okay with that. This is the state that life is in. But good things are coming. I really believe good things are coming. So we got to trust in that. There's a whole shift that happened. Actually, in a Year of Bold Masterclass, I talked about the transition of the axis for the lunar nodes. The nodes now are, not the lunar nodes, but the nodes. We're transitioning now. We started on the 23rd. We are now in Taurus for the northern node, the north node. The north node is where we're going. And Scorpio for the south node. So we're going to see this shift. We're feeling this shift. And I read that Jupiter is there in the sky near Pluto. Like, there's a bunch of things being brought to the surface, as we've seen, but Jupiter is the planet of gifts. So there are blessings coming. There are things coming. Sometimes we just have to see them. Sometimes we don't see, so we gotta look. And honestly, practicing gratitude as an attitude, like, what could I choose to be grateful for in this moment, even if it's just that I woke up, even if it's just that I had 5 minutes to myself. Little bits of gratitude is like a medicine for you and your soul. So practice that. But I love your faces. Have an amazing, what are we today? Thursday? Yes. Have an amazing Thursday. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Be safe. I wish you nothing but blessings and health and joy and all the good things to come in 2022. This is a new chapter. You're the author. You are the main character in your story. So if in 2021 you were a secondary character, reclaim your power. Reclaim your power. Readjust your crown. Get yourself focused. Good things are coming. I 100% believe that in my body. So I love your faces, and we'll chat soon. Bye.